Yummy.
All right, are we ready?
Yep.
Good afternoon. It's Robert and Julia Miller with the J. Patel Group and Rethink Real Estate with another exciting real estate update.
Good evening.
Yeah, it is evening. We're running a little late, but we're going to plow on through.
That's right.
I love your adorable new haircut. That is just awesome.
Thank you.
Your
go a little
Christmassy
shorter.
red
Christmassy,
blouse.
Yep.
Wow. I missed the memo.
I like
Right.
wearing red during December.
What episode are we on?
We are on episode 57.
Awesome. Please like and subscribe. Helps grow us. Every month we get a few more subscribers, so slowly but surely it just keeps growing. And
We're up to 90. We had 2 subscribers this month, 2 new subscribers this month. So that's awesome.
we'll have to
Excellent.
celebrate when we hit 100. It's coming.
We will.
We'll get there.
We will.
All right, you got a joke for us?
Yes, I do. Hold on a second. I have to refer to my notes.
I'll go first.
No.
All right.
I'm excited for the holidays.
Why?
I bought a gingerbread house, ready to decorate it, but it already has 6 offers on it.
Yeah, that's the market we're in. However, we're going to talk about next year a little bit, and it's going to be a little bit different.
Market
So,
predictions.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for those. We'll run through our jokes, kind of open things up, go through this week in history, and then we'll jump to regular news, and then we'll start looking at 2022 predictions.
we'll try to keep it moving along
Hot
so it
predictions
doesn't.
for the market.
Yeah, it's not too long a video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, banks need to get better at restocking these ATMs. I went to 5 of them today, and every single one of them said insufficient funds.
Oh, yeah, that's not the bank ATM mean. Insufficient funds.
I thought that was hilarious. All right, moving on. Economic news. It was a very interesting week. The Fed had a meeting Tuesday and Wednesday, and the results of that meeting had a major effect on the economy, or not the economy, the stock market. So,
Yeah, the stock market went.
Yep. So, and again, it's all related to inflation. Inflation rose 0.8% in November to a yearly pace of 6.8%, the fastest since 1982. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Energy is also up, and food prices have also risen 6.1%. So, they made some rather hawkish moves. They announced they are going to definitely accelerate their bond buying tapering, so that will definitely be done by July, and now it's looking like it could be even sooner. And they do plan to have 3 rate increases next year, and this is what they charge banks to borrow money. So that will trickle down to us. Unemployment, it's kind of going all over the place. We did get some really good news, but we think it might have been skewed a little bit. Initial claims for unemployment benefits hit their lowest number since 1969
Okay, that's
for
good.
the week ending December 4th, but numbers may be skewed. Pandemic-era labor issues affect workers' overall availability, but with low layoffs and high quit rates, it can make the job market look rosier than it is. So we'll see. We'll continue to follow that.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get back to...
What does that mean? Pandemic era labor issues.
Some people not being able to work because their jobs have disappeared, or because of locality, the type of business that they run is being affected by the pandemic.
Or like we're only using 80% of our restaurants, so we don't need as many waitresses type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
The stock market did take a bit of a pounding today, or this week, since they Fed announcements. So it'll be interesting to watch that for next week to see if it rebounds a little bit going into the end of the year.
Hopefully it does, yeah.
Yep.
All right, moving on to housing news.
Housing news. Analysis shows 14% of low-income first-time home buyers had closing costs exceeding their down payments, a meaningful obstacle for homeowners, and it's not hard to figure out. That's primarily PMI. So private mortgage insurance that you have to pay. If you do a FHA loan, it requires private mortgage insurance. Or there are some conventional products available, but they still require private mortgage insurance. So
yeah, anytime you're it used to be less than 20%, but I don't know what it is now. That's not how did they take that out? It seems like they took out the 20% rule.
Yeah, you can get a lower than 20% conventional loan, but you still pay and it may not be a full PMI, but you're going to have some tacked on to the payment. So,
okay.
And that doesn't completely explain why the closing costs were higher, but it certainly explains why there are some cost attached to that. But
people
the bottom line
down
is
their points and stuff like that.
Buying down points
can
do that, but that wouldn't be in this case. It's just it adds to your payment. So if you can avoid that, get that down payment up to a point where you can avoid PMI if at all possible.
Yeah.
Okay, with homeowners gaining a massive $3.2 trillion in home equity during the third quarter of 2021, negative equity has reached a 12-year low. Just 2.1% of all mortgaged homes remain underwater.
2.1%. Wow.
Remember when it was like 75?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
Asking rents. The price that landlords ask for the rent increased a record 13.9% in November, and apartment occupancy hit a new record high of 97.5%.
I bet. I'm hearing it's really hard to find an available apartment or rental.
I mean, you would think that, apartment living is normally a bit transitory, so you would think at least 5 to 7% would just be leases ending and people moving somewhere else, buying a home, whatever. 97.5%.
Less than 5%.
2.5%. Wow, that's crazy low. Okay, regulatory news, and this is sometimes delayed in what we're reporting because it's from the beginning of the week many times, and we're doing this at the end of the week.
Yeah.
So, talked about the Fed tapering their bond buying. The strategists didn't expect much market reaction. Well,
well, we know.
Yeah, at least the stock market. You know, we'll see what the effect is going forward in the economy, but the stock market took a pounding for it. Yeah. And this is interesting. The Biden administration has vowed to crack down on crooks paying cash for homes to launder money. Deputy Treasurer Secretary Wally Adamio, I think I'm pronouncing that right, pledged to beef up corruption enforcement, noting that current law allows the formation of companies to conduct all cash real estate deals that hide the source of funds. It's according to Reuters. I completely forgot that to do history.
Oh.
So we'll just flip it this time. We've done the news now. We'll flip to history real quick. Sorry about that.
I must have derailed you.
Yeah, that happens. Okay, 1979, December 18th, Stan Barrett breaks the sound barrier, 739 miles an hour in a land vehicle. That would be super scary. I mean,
I should have looked up that to see what kind of vehicle it was. I don't know.
The Salt Flats in Utah, isn't that where they do that most of the time?
Probably.
Because you got to have such a long...
what kind of vehicle it was.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure.
What kind of vehicle goes 739 miles?
Yeah, a lot of horsepower.
Yeah.
1901, the first transatlantic radio signal is sent and received December 12th. 1900, German physicist Max Planck introduces quantum theory. 1899, December 12th, George Grant patents the wooden golf tee. Very important.
You just invent one small thing.
Why can't I invent something like that?
Like a bobby pin, and you're a
billionaire. Man. The latest one, you can buy a passport wallet now that also has it trifold, so you can put your vaccine card in one side. That guy's laughing all the way to the bank.
They're like, they made it they made the vaccine card just the right size to go in my passport wallet.
Yeah. Wow, I got to come up with one of those.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
1809, surgeon Ephraim McDowell removes a 22-pound tumor.
We had to look this one up to know what this was. It was we think anyway, the date is a little bit different than what you find on Wikipedia, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're about
said
2
it was
weeks off.
Christmas Day.
Or 12 days off.
What
yeah.
I think actually happened on December 13th is he traveled to see her, it sounded like from the story.
Okay.
And then he said, I need you to come to the hospital in Danville, Kentucky.
And
which
it
was about
actually
60
happened.
miles away.
It actually happened Christmas Day.
Christmas Day,
Yeah.
yep.
And she survived. And it was the first time it had ever been.
No
performed.
anesthesia.
No.
No anesthetic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Woo!
Okay, 1799, the U.S. mourns the death of George Washington, age 67. And finally, in 1773, on December 16th, the Boston Tea Party occurred. Colonists dumped British cargo into the harbor. And you can still go through a reenactment. You can be one of the participants in a reenactment of the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, we were watching one of our travel channels last night, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they were doing the Freedom Trail tour in Boston, which we hope to do possibly next fall. And they did a reenactment of the Boston.
You get given one of the characters.
Yeah.
And you say your line, and then you go onto the ship and you throw the cargo over.
Right.
It was pretty cute.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, very historical, but fun at the same time. So.
Yeah. Okay, just quickly, couple articles that came
Special
out.
stories?
National Association of Realtors this week. Misconceptions about a seller's market.
This is one of my favorite
The
articles.
housing market is hot, but some homeowners may overestimate just how hot it is when they go to sell.
Yeah.
Real estate professionals shared with Realtor.com a few unrealistic expectations that some of their sellers have had, such
true.
as that their home has doubled in value since they bought it,
Yeah.
or that they shouldn't have to make any repairs before closing. We have seen many deals get multiple offers and go at over ask, but they almost always stem from buyers sensing some form of value. And if
it's on the golf course.
or it's been
or
really well cared
really
for
well
and
cared
updated
for,
and
yeah.
just a gorgeous home.
Air conditioning's new.
Right.
That always helps too.
Yeah, and if there is no perceived value, buyers will often stay on the sidelines even with limited inventory.
Yeah.
And we see that in a few communities where, it's hard to find a home in this neighborhood, yet there's 3 homes that have been there for 2 months. And you go through and look at the pictures and
You're like,
as is, no repairs will be made, and
wow.
you can look at the pictures and say, wow, this is a rough house, it's going to need updated.
that's the problem.
It's just unrealistic. The sellers get this conception that anything sells in this market. It's not like that.
Yeah, we kind of come in like the bad guys a little bit sometimes and let people know, no, it's, your responsibilities as a seller haven't changed. Your responsibilities as a seller is if something needs to be repaired, it needs to be repaired. If the buyer comes in and wants a brand new air conditioner, but the one that's there works fine, it's just on its last years, then that's different. It doesn't need to be repaired because nothing's broken. It's working. So we get an imbalance. The seller sometimes has an imbalance, and the buyer sometimes has an imbalance as far as their expectations. So we have to try to meet in the middle.
Real estate pros told Realtor.com that some of their sellers believe their home will sell in a few days and then become disappointed when it doesn't. And again, Charlie's down the road sold in 1 hour. Okay, that's awesome for Charlie.
Great.
I don't know the details of how that happened, why it happened. Maybe he had it sold before it even got listed by a friend,
And it
a
may
relative.
happen in your case,
And it may happen in your case,
in
but you can't. That can't be perceived as the norm and the way things always happen. So, homes that need some repairs or are in a higher price range or have some quirky features or an odd layout, they may linger on the market,
Yeah.
Realtor.com notes. Also, even in a seller's market, homeowners still need to make repairs. Investors may be willing to overlook some repairs,
Right.
but buyers in search of move-in ready homes are not. And another thing that plays into that when you put your buyer hat on, it's a good idea to do the repairs ahead of time if you can. That's going to bring you the highest dollar. But construction and renovation costs are sharply up with all the supply chain issues. So buyers are thinking about that when they're looking at a home. They can be weary of purchasing a place that will have to require a lot of work and high expense. So as a seller, just something to think about.
Yeah, that was a great article, I thought. And that was NAR, came out through National Association of Realtors.
Yep. Okay, and you've got, I think we both have some 2022 info, right?
So we both pulled that article, the Misconceptions article, and then we both kind of came to the table today with predictions for 2022.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
mine I just put down as a bullet point, 3 bullet points.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Demand will continue to be strong. Low inventory will continue to be a major issue. And home prices will remain high into 202022.
With some caveats.
Yeah, with some caveats.
And I'll go over
and these
those.
are just, like I said, these are just bullet points. These aren't new things. We've been talking about them really all throughout 2021. So, yeah. How about you elaborate?
Well, the National Association of Realtors put out a 2022 prediction from the experts.
Okay.
It's the headline, Housing Market Likely to Normalize in 2022. And we have seen some normalization. December has definitely slowed down like it normally does this time of year.
People say, well, I'll shop more after the holidays.
Right, yeah.
I'm coming to Arizona in January.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see it pick back up in January. So, while strong home buyer demand and inventory shortages will continue in 2022, which you alluded to, the housing market is unlikely to repeat this year's dizzying heights in which existing home sales reached their highest point in 15 years with an estimated 6 million sales.
Ooh.
Slower growth in home prices, decelerating inflation, and multiple interest rate hikes that we already talked about by the Federal Reserve could contribute to more normal housing market in the next year, according to the National Association of Realtors Chief Economist Lawrence Yun. For 2022, experts predict that annual median home prices will increase 5.7%, not 20% like they did this year.
Yeah, this year was...
Inflation will rise 4%, which will be a huge improvement over where we're at now. We're at 6.2 or something. It's really the reason the Fed took the action that they did.
Yeah.
We'll see the housing market normalize next year. In addition, Yun expects existing home sales will decline to 5.9 million in 2022. That's still a lot of home sales, but less than this year.
Right.
Housing affordability, even if the market begins to settle down, affordability issues likely will continue to dampen home buying prospects for many would-be owners. And if we see interest rates increase, that's going to reduce even more what somebody can afford to buy and make a monthly payment on.
For sure.
Affordability, entry-level homes continue to be among the units in shortest supply.
You think rentals are hard to find? Try to find an affordable home.
Terrible.
Within your, we have a client right now that would love to be buying 4-bedroom plus den in the $450 range, and it's really tough to find.
Yeah, it's hard to find. Yeah,
it's hard to find one, and it's an entry level buyer basically. They're buying back into the market, I believe. So.
Here, this is a interesting caveat to all of this. Regional differences could affect the housing market.
Okay.
Housing prices are likely to moderate nationwide, but regional variation could occur in 2022. An example would be overpriced areas with lower predicted population growth will experience a greater slowing of prices compared to those with higher predicted growth.
Do you think that might apply to like our sub-market here of Estancia?
In what regard?
We're a higher priced area, even for Peoria. Our homes average higher sales prices than other parts of Peoria. And we have low population growth because of that, and because of low availability of homes.
Oh, I disagree. I think our population growth is going to continue and even accelerate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of the business that's coming in, and
That's true.
so it's going to bring more and more people. I don't think we're going to have a decrease in our population at all.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm thinking California, New York, Chicago, Upper Midwest. These areas
okay.
very high. It's very expensive to buy a home in these areas,
Yeah.
and their population is shrinking. So those are the areas I think that are probably going to have
Interesting.
be
Okay.
affected more. Strong building starts in the suburbs. You're talking about Estancia. This would be a good example. Could be good news for first-time buyers. Businesses are competing for workers right now, said Realtor.com chief economist Danielle Hale, and that means buyers could have more flexibility in choosing where they live. So obviously the more you can get out from the urban hub, the farther out you can go
Suburbs.
and still work in the suburbs, the more house you're going to be able to get.
Sure.
So, for your money.
Okay.
All right. That was
Well, and one thing that I took from that article too was that we're seeing come the first of the year, the first quarter, we're going to have some Canadians selling off homes.
we're already seeing that this
yeah,
month. They've been
Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, it's been hard for them to get here.
yeah,
So they've been having to pay for homes, property taxes and HOAs.
upkeep and
and
maintenance,
upkeep.
and they haven't been here for 2
And they
years
haven't been
in
here.
some cases. So
And so
Yeah.
it's better at this point for them to just sell.
right.
So yeah, we've had quite a few Canadian clients give us a call and say, look, we just want to sell. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, looking at rates again. They've been creeping up. They actually, this is probably delayed because of the announcement from the Fed just happening this week. So they actually trickled down slightly.
Yeah. Okay.
The 30-year went from 3.342 down to 3.299.
All right.
The 15-year 2.556 dropped down to 2.517, and the VA 3.012. It's back under 3 now at 2.965.
There you go.
So that's good news.
That's good
Unfortunately,
news.
I don't think it's going to be lasting, but at least for
It'll
this
probably
week.
hold out through the end of the year,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, probably the end of the year.
We'll hover
And then-
right there in that area. In those ranges.
Okay, inventory for the Valley 6,642. Peoria's back under 200 now.
200.
Yeah, they were at 221 or something.
Yeah, we were just over, I think.
Yeah, they're at 198 now, and Surprise also dropped down. They're at 228 available.
Yeah.
Closer to Home, Trilogy at Estancia has 12 homes available. 465,000 being the most affordable and 975 the most expensive. Estancia Village has 11 homes available. Price range 402,900 to 908,777. Put a lot of thought into
Yeah.
figuring out that price. Blackstone Country Club still only 2 available.
homes.
One at 815,000, one at 1,430,000. Portobello 3 homes. Same 3 homes have been sitting on the market for a long time. 525,000 the most affordable, and 755,900 the most expensive.
It's the same 3?
I think so.
think?
I'm gonna
Oh.
double check that 755.9, but I
Yeah.
know that 525 has been there for a
Okay.
while. Sun City Grand, 30 homes available. Price range 334,900 up to 835,500. Sun City West has 53 available.
Woo!
198,500 is the most affordable, and the most expensive 935,000. That was a gorgeous property.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, I took a look at that one because that's pretty high for Sun City
It is
West.
high
and
for Sun
it
City
was
West, yeah.
amazing property. And finally, Westbrook Village has 8 homes available. Price range 407,000 to 485,000.
Ah, nice. All right. Yeah, Westbrook. That's not very many for Westbrook, but they don't.
Well,
have
we've
too
seen it
many.
as low as 3 and jumped up to like 14 for a while there.
Yeah.
Now they're back about 8.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll continue to watch it.
Good deal.
All right, that's our report for today. Went a little long, but we had a few extra things to report to you. So,
We still will do a video next week, even though it's Christmas.
yeah, we're going to do it a day early.
Yeah,
so,
let's do it a day early.
It'll come out just a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
All right, everybody enjoy this cool, crisp weekend. The mornings have been really crisp.
Yes,
but we've
very
still
crisp.
been managing to get out and take a walk, so
yeah.
enjoy it. Yeah, it was a little windy
A
today.
little windy today, so.
Okay, everybody enjoy the weekend. Have a blessed week. We will see you again next week.
See you soon.
Take care.
Ready, set, go.
Cheers. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy hot cocoa.
Yeah, nothing like a cup of hot cocoa made with almond milk.
So creamy and delicious.
It's actually not bad.
Yummy.
All right, are we ready?